Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Schwartz-Reichel. My career began in music education where I learned the importance of a key change, a shift, in the tonal center of a piece of music, often used to inject energy or produce significance. Eventually, I realized the impact of making key changes in all areas of my life and the desire to help others do the same. Making key changes can be difficult. I certainly don't have all the answers, but I do like to pose questions for reflection and offer actionable key changes for us to attempt in both our working and living situations. Together, we can unlock our greatest potential in collaboration with those we love, serve, and lead. Let's discover how we can grow together by making key changes. Have you ever asked someone a question or have been asked a question and were disappointed when the inquiry or explanation was not reciprocated? Have you shared something about yourself but failed to ask the other person if they would like to share information with you? Consider how it makes you feel when someone carves out the time and makes the effort to ask about you or show concern about you. Do you feel they understand you better because of this process? Now, consider how it makes you feel when someone shares information about themselves with you. Do you feel that you understand them better? In last week's podcast episode, number 28, titled The Power of Pause, I shared about my collegiate wind ensemble conductor's habit of storytelling during our rehearsals. As I matured and began leading too, I understood the purpose of Dr. Laudermilk's storytelling to be what I have now come to regard as the power of pause. My former teacher's storytelling was not him going off on a tangent. His pauses were intentional. He was frustrated with the level of our performance and therefore provided a diversionary strategy to help us get out of whatever rut we were in and motivate us to perform at a much higher level. And he did this in a genuine and natural way by sharing stories about himself, which we enjoyed and eagerly anticipated. Energized and inspired, we performed with greater emotion and precision after his storytelling. We were ready to learn more too. At times, we even requested that he share another story. I have come to incorporate pauses for storytelling into my loving, serving, and leading too. When expectations are set in place and followed at home, in the classroom, or in the meeting space, storytelling can occur with greater efficiency. Sharing stories about ourselves with others can serve as more than a distraction or motivation, though. It can serve as understanding, appreciation, and trust. In October 2021, I co-authored an article with educator Jonathan Grantham of Amador Valley High School in Pleasanton, California. The article is called A Pathway to Perpetual Purpose and Pride. Try to say that 5 times. The article included the subtitle, Sharing Stories About Ourselves. I have included a link to the article in the show notes. In the article, Jonathan and I discussed the reasons why and the methods for how we share stories about ourselves with students of all ages, from our youngest learners to adults, and even with our colleagues. In the article, I share that from teaching young students to working with educators now, the amount of which I share is often the same. The content is fairly similar too. My 6th grade humor is apparent regardless of the ages of the people with whom I am collaborating, and Storytime with Lori makes an occasional appearance. When I reveal my setbacks in learning and leading to students, such as that I was held back in 1st grade, transferred universities, switched majors, retook the educator certification test due to a non-passing score, and was passed over for numerous professional positions, it's as if a sense of relief permeates the learning space. There's an understanding that there is room to experiment, fail, and develop ourselves. Regardless of whether I play my saxophone, sing a song, and I usually change the lyrics, attempt some dance moves, or tell a story, I offer a unique piece of myself to others. I share the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we roll our eyes, laugh, and sometimes even cry together. I try to embrace my uniqueness and encourage others to do the same. When others, such as family, friends, students, or colleagues, observe that I'm willing to openly share, they are more inclined to do so too. With this reciprocation, an instant trust is born. The need to more readily share and truly comprehend how our stories may encourage, motivate, or validate those we lead and care for is essential. Take some time to reflect on the processes, strategies, or tools you use to get to know your family, friends, neighbors, students, colleagues, or employees. Consider these questions for reflection to serve as key changes to assist with sharing stories about ourselves. Do you allow time to listen to their individual stories before hastily leaping into the continuous grind of routines? Do you attempt to form relationships and establish understanding? Do you display care before demonstrating content? Are you ensuring that the stories of those you love, serve, or lead permeate the home, community, classroom, workspace, or department? Did you even ask these valued contributors to share their unique stories with you? How does this distinct knowledge of others shape your instruction, collaboration, or communication? Now, consider this storytelling technique from a different perspective. What processes, strategies, or tools do you implement for those you love, serve, and lead to get to know you? Do you share information, tell a story, perform an act, create a video, design a presentation, or share photographs with others about yourself? How does this unique knowledge about you shape others' ability to love, learn, or lead? How does it ensure a trusted partnership? How might it enhance their correspondence, comprehension, or confidence? Imagine the impact that sharing details about yourself could have on strengthening a pathway to perpetual purpose and pride within our collaborative loving, learning, and leading spaces. I recently read 2 poignant quotes by unknown authors. The first states, "Your story matters. More importantly, you matter." And the second is, did you ever read or hear someone's story and think, "This is exactly what I needed to hear today"? Your story could do that for someone else. Share stories about yourself with others and allow them to do the same with you. You'll open a positive pathway to perpetual purpose and pride. I encourage you to check out the show notes for some resources. There is a link to my website and one where you can sign up for the Making Key Changes newsletter to receive weekly inspirational content delivered directly to your email inbox. Please keep spreading the word about this podcast and consider rating or reviewing it too. How are we making key changes to share stories about ourselves with those we love, serve, or lead? Thanks for listening. If you haven't done so yet, please consider rating and reviewing the Making Key Changes podcast on the Apple Podcast app. If you found this episode helpful, please consider sharing it with others and joining me again next week. In my coming episodes, I'll discuss topics that are most passionate to me, along with things I've been researching or areas of my life I have changed or want to change. You can learn more about me on my website, makingkeychanges.com. Feel free to message me through there or reach out on social media. I'd love to hear from you and learn about what key changes you hope to make.